Furniture is a High Point, North Carolina-based to-the-trade accent furniture company, best known for crafting stunning furnishings inspired by the vintage and antique Chinese pieces that Gregg, EarthX founder, used to import and upcycle. Their made-to-order products feature wood and other materials local to North Carolina, and rattan, an extremely ecological and renewable material from the Philippines. Let's meet Carol now and learn more about how EarthX was created and the circular methods that they embrace in their practices. Hello, Carol. Welcome to our series on circular design.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Tell me about yourself, your company, and your products.
My name is Gregg. I am the founder, owner, and chief hen of EarthX. EarthX is a to-the-trade accent furniture company based in High Point, North Carolina. We've been around since 1997, and we are proud members of the Sustainable Furnishings Council.
So what inspired you to get into the furnishings industry?
I was a textile designer by trade, traveling a lot in Asia. Have a great love of the Asian aesthetic in textiles. And on one of those trips, I happened to be walking down a street in Hong Kong that was just filled with beautiful vintage and antique stores. I went into one of these stores and fell in love with the very ornate Chinese furniture that I was seeing. And I asked the owner if he had more. And soon I was in China, digging through warehouses, picking vintage, antique, used furniture, and thinking about a new business of bringing that furniture to the US market and sharing that aesthetic with a whole new audience.
Now, you were a pioneer in introducing upcycling concepts with your business. How did that evolve?
So at that point, I was based in Northern California and didn't want to do a traditional retail store full of Chinese antique furniture, since San Francisco did have a bit of that going on at the time. I decided I would bring our furniture to the trade show wholesale market and sell to retailers and designers and let them resell the product or reimagine the product. That kind of seemed like a gamble at the time. But big department stores and retailers started coming to me looking for more of my product and wanting me to take those vintage pieces and make new ones for them and make collections for them. So I went from kind of a recycling furniture business to an upcycling furniture business where I would go find vintage pieces of a style and repaint them in new, fun, fresh colors, or make alterations to them, like taking a traditional Chinese wardrobe piece and turning it into a modern television cabinet for the US market. As that business evolved, it became very apparent to me that it was difficult to maintain consistency and quality by doing it that way. And I had more demand for new-made furniture. So I found myself manufacturing furniture in China.
And how did your thinking shift regarding your sustainability practices?
I was on an airplane coming back from China and realized that there were containers of wood going from Russia and France and the US to China to make the furniture that I was then shipping back to the United States to sell to these big department stores so that they could ship it out to their customers all over the country. Suddenly, to me, that was so unsustainable. That was just not a business I could go forward with. When I moved my wood furniture production to North Carolina, that was a big shift, but making furniture locally with locally sourced wood seemed like a really a smart thing to do, both sustainably and for creating a more balanced lifestyle. I was at a trade show in North Carolina, and I actually met Susan Inglis, who is the head of the Sustainable Furnishings Council, and she told me what I was doing was a sustainable practice, which I knew intuitively, but I hadn't really thought about it. And she told me all about the Sustainable Furnishings Council and how I could be a part of that.
You were really ahead of your time in changing your business model. Your Double Happiness collection is well known throughout the industry. What materials do you use and where are they sourced?
We work with local craftspeople in North Carolina for all of our wood furniture, and we make every piece to order from locally sourced materials. We use locally sourced maple for our Double Happiness collection. We also use some reclaimed wood. One of our favorite locally made pieces is a hanging porch bed. And the one that's been on our porch for about 8 years now is made from a fallen white oak from our local region. We work with one particular maker who loves to work with fallen trees and create beautiful live edge shelving and natural pieces from that reclaimed wood. So that's another way that we are working with a locally sustainable source. We have a collection of furniture handcrafted from rattan out of the Philippines. And rattan is a rapidly renewable resource in the Philippines. Basically, it's a vine that grows in the jungles of Southeast Asia. It is strong, it is flexible, it is durable, and in the hands of talented craftspeople, it makes beautiful furniture. So we're very excited that we can do that as well.
I'm so happy to hear you using rattan. It is one of the most sustainable materials and a renewable material. Tell us about waste reduction and other upcycling practices for your business.
We're very much a small company, and we work in kind of a cottage industry mode where we are making furniture to order. So we're making small batch, we're making piece by piece, we're customizing, and in doing so, we're trying to not create waste to start with. Other small businesses can take that model and actually make furniture custom to order and give people exactly what they want.
So how does EarthX measure its impact?
It kind of goes back to making furniture to order and not making waste, making furniture locally, working with local materials. We also like to hear stories from our customers that the product we make is not going into a landfill. It's getting passed on to another generation. I have a story from a client who has a rattan chair from Red Egg from 20 years ago, and she said it's moved 4 households with her because it's one of her favorite pieces of furniture. And that to me has impact when a product is made to last and does not get thrown away, it gets recycled.
And how do you share your philosophy of sustainability with your community?
A couple of things that I love to do. Number one is to always have interns at Red Egg. It's a great way for me to stay in touch with the next generation of interior designers and furniture designers and product designers, and for them to learn about sustainable philosophy from Red Egg. I'm always very, very aware of what they're learning in school and how we can improve on that by giving them some real-world experience in what sustainability means. A lot of times they say, oh my gosh, we love your furniture, but it's too expensive. We can't afford it. We need more affordable furniture, which is great in concept, but they also, by the end of the internship, learn that maybe it's worth saving their money to buy a really good piece of furniture that they're going to own for a lifetime, instead of buying on impulse a fashionable or trendy piece of furniture that they're going to throw in the dumpster in less than a year. So I always teach them, don't make landfill. That's kind of a philosophy here at Red Egg. And just because you can design something doesn't mean you should. Other things I do is the local cottage industry shops that I work with, I'm always trying to impart some sustainable knowledge to them and sustainable practices that we can do together, because I don't own my manufacturing. I'm working with small shops. I'm working within their capabilities. And so sometimes it's a gradual process, but I feel like every step we can take together towards that end benefits everyone in the long run.
So what's the biggest circular challenge you're facing in your business?
Packing materials, that's it. It's really a challenge to have a piece of furniture that has taken so much time and energy and effort and raw material to make, to have it go into a carton, shipped off to a client, only to have someone along the way drop it and break it, just seems so incredibly wasteful to me. To combat that, you have to pack things so they're bulletproof. And in doing so, all of those packing materials become waste on the other end. So I really hope that someone smarter than me can figure out this solution and solve this.
That's so true. There is a growing number of companies that are addressing these packaging challenges globally. What other sustainable practices are you hoping to include in the future?
Finishing is an area of improvement for us. We have been known for our beautiful lacquered colors that kind of transform a piece of furniture from classic to coastal to, whatever style you're looking for, just based on putting a new lacquer color on a traditional shape. Red Egg became known for that, and we love that aesthetic, but it's been a challenge to find really sustainable materials to use for our finishing that are also incredibly durable and will last the lifetime of a piece of furniture, which we think that piece of furniture should last for many years for you and be passed down. So finding that balance is our challenge, and we will continue to look for ways to find more sustainable finishing materials or practices that we can use on our furnishings.
That's so important. Water-based lacquer and finishes contribute to improve indoor air quality and human health in interiors.
Absolutely.
How do you see the furnishings industry evolving in the near future?
So I think the pandemic has taught us all a lot about slowing down, thinking a little more about our purchases, being a little more conscious about our home environments, taking stock in the pieces of furniture that have served us well, that we love. And I'm hopeful that people will spend a little more time making conscious decisions about larger purchases like home furnishings, and think of them more in terms of a large purchase that you will love for many, many years and pass on. Mm-hmm. We may want some richer experiences coming out of this pandemic. And that's one thing that we've been providing to our trade clients for years now by having our showroom in a historic home in High Point, North Carolina. I actually live in the home as well. That's the way we want people to experience Red Egg, as a living showroom where on a daily basis I am sitting in a chair that we designed and made, and eating at a dining table that we designed and made, and throwing dinner parties at said dining table where where people are spilling wine on our furniture. And, it's really getting used and experienced. Not only does that help us tell our story to our customers, where we can say, hey, our furniture holds up really well with use. It's not only beautiful, it's functional, and you're going to love living with it. But they get to experience that as well.
Where can our audience find you?
So Red Egg is a to-the-trade company. We sell to interior designers and boutique retailers, but you can always view our product at redegg.com, our website. And we also, on our website, it's kind of a cool thing, we have a virtual tour, so you can walk through our living showroom. Even if you can't physically come to our showroom in High Point, North Carolina, you can walk through it virtually online.
What would you like the Red Egg legacy to be?
I want people to find joy in the pieces of furniture that we make for them. I want them to look at a piece of Red Egg furniture and have it put a smile on their face, and have them think about either the experience of getting to come to our showroom and see that piece of furniture in person, or the story that I shared with them about how their furniture was made. I think that gives them some pride in the furniture, and maybe they can share that story too. So I want our furniture to bring people joy and to have longevity, both aesthetically and physically. I want our furniture to be heirloom quality that gets passed down, or can be a piece that you recycle in your own home or in your many moves. I have a great story. I had a piece of furniture, a piece of actually rattan furniture from 20 years ago that a designer brought to my attention, was on first dibs, which I felt pretty excited about, that it had not only longevity, but it was about to get a new life as a vintage piece of furniture.
That's wonderful to hear, Carol, and I hope you continue to spread joy with Red Egg furniture. Thank you for today. I truly enjoyed our conversation. Clearly, Carol has always been ahead of her time. From naturally seeking out sustainable solutions to her living showroom in High Point, her visionary mindset is a tremendous asset to the interiors and furnishings industry. The furniture she manufactures for industry retailers features sustainably sourced and often renewable materials. It's made one of a kind and locally to reduce waste. And it's designed for durability and longevity, both aesthetically and functionally, so these heirloom quality pieces can be handed down across generations. When it comes to a naturally sustainable mindset, Carol Gregg clearly rules the roost.